that's a problem. Got a leak at the valve stem. I already diagnosed it. So I have to put in a new valve stem on the tire. Now it's tubeless, so I can just swap the stem instead of having to swap an inner tube. But it's not a quick process. So fortunately, it has begun to rain. I was going to spend some time cleaning up the lawn, but it has begun to rain. As you can tell from the really loud sounds coming from my pole barn roof. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit out here and work on this for a while. Glad I have a pole barn. I gotta take off the deck. And it stopped just as fast as it started. Man, that was something. Super glad I have this. All right, back to taking the deck off. Under the heading of pretty impressive, I finished taking off the deck, took off the tire, and yeah, I wasn't recording. Anyway, I got it off. I got it on the bed of the Mule. I'm gonna just try to break the bead on it so I can get inside there and take that out, swap out the valves. Oh my goodness, does this thing have an inner tube in it? It's got an inner tube. Well, my quick and easy tire valve replacement turned into a poop show. I couldn't break the bead on the tire no matter what I did. I tried a bunch of stuff off camera and that was thoroughly unsuccessful. So I'm a little frustrated about that. So I usually take my mowers over to a guy who does that stuff. And I think he's got one of those machines, you put a tire on it and you can, with the lever and you can break it. That's amazing. And just, anyway, so yeah, it turned out the tire, it wasn't the valve, it was a tube inside the tubeless tire. So there's already been repairs done to it once. That's going to take some time because I had to order some new tubes for it, etc. So now what I'm going to do is I'm down the fence line a ways and I'm just going to put in some posts down here to start marking off the distant portions of the fence line on the south end of the property. And then I'm going to go back and I got to tear out all the old fencing and I'll try using the grapple on the tractor for that and see if that has any effect or if I'm just going to be breaking stuff. I don't know. It's been here for a while. The fencing has. You can tell it's pretty messed up. So here's a post. Here's some old rusty barbed wire that's going up. It's coming down here. Then there's also like woven field fence. It's obviously been here for a long time. Limbs crashing it down. So I'm gonna have to clean up all this and then figure out like what is a straight line all the way down to the other end. And I think I'm gonna have to clear out a bunch of this stuff that's right on the property line. We will see. But I mean, some of these are not like a real loss. Like that, boink, ends right there, that ends there. So they're not really healthy trees. They're just kind of in the way. But first, I've got to get a string going down here so I know where that line is gonna be. And what I'm having trouble finding at this end is the surveyor's mark. And it may be because this corner of the property is actually in a pond that has got elements from 3 or 4 different property owners. So I'll see how far down in there, because once I get back in this area down in there, it starts to get kind of mushy. And we're starting to get our rain levels back up, which is great. But it turns the ground quite spongy out at this corner of the property. So probably see the pond through there a little bit. Yeah, it's quite a lovely pond. I don't think it's very deep. All right, I found this surveyor's mark out here, and there's a little piece of orange tape in the tree. Go figure, I missed that. That is not, however, the actual corner of the property, but as you can see, when the water levels were higher, it was all the way up here. And so they couldn't get to where the actual corner is. So according to maps, I'm actually about 120 feet from the actual corner of the property, out that way into the wetland a bit, or into the pond and the marshy area along the edge of it. But at least I got this corner here. I can put a post in the ground here, and that'll give me a good reference point for the rest of the property line. So from here, I could do a straight line all the way down. Talk to my mouth. I could do a straight line all the way down to the corner where another surveyor's mark is. So I got that going for me. Which is nice. So I've been working for the last couple hours to cut a trail to the west edge of the property. Pretty dehydrated. That patch right there is pretty thick. I got a narrow thing through it and then opened up the other side. But it's been a pretty good effort taking me all morning. And ultimately I want to be able to drive over there. Just make it quicker to access for doing work. So I've been trying to cut something wide enough for the mule. It's a lot of work, man. But it's lunchtime. Let's get some lunch. Oh, and if we're keeping track, no, that was not what I set out to do this morning. I was going to work on the fence line on the south end. And then, I don't know, for some reason, I looked at those woods and I looked at my map, and it just felt right. I thought, you know what? I see a path through there. I feel a path through there. I need to just take this moment and go. So I did. And surprise, surprise, actually working out pretty good. We'll see if it means anything in the weeks to come. But still got to work on that southern fence line. Well, we're back to this. So when I was using it earlier today, out in the woods while I was clearing the trail, it worked fine. It was running good. But now, for whatever reason, I got a DFI light, which is, I think, related to the fuel injection system, fuel system, fluids. And it's lugging. The engine's lugging now. It'll start. But so there's several things that it could be. So I'm going to have to troubleshoot it and figure out where I'll start with the low-hanging fruit. You know, I'll check the fuel filter and see if that's good. I know the gas is good because it's not old gas, but I can put some more in there and try and lean it out. Maybe there was water in it, I guess. I don't know. I don't think so, though, because I burned up, 2/3 of a tank of gas on it already on the same tank. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to work on that. Meanwhile, I got some wind and some clouds rolling in, but I think I can still get out there and maybe try tearing out some of that old fence. Give it a shot. I want to try and get some of this done today, just if nothing else, a proof of concept. Because tomorrow, I'm going to look at a college with my youngest son, and that'll be a whole day. That'll be a whole day effort because it's a little bit of a drive to get there. So what I'm going to try to do is use the grapple to grab elements of the fence and then lift and see if I can pull it all out of wherever it's hidden in the ground. And I don't know if it's going to work, but I wanted to give it a try. So you can see the fence post there. I don't know. We'll see if I can reach in and grab a hold of those and pull some of that stuff out. Not really holding position there, so I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see. That's not what I meant to do. Part of the challenge is that it goes between the trees and then out here more and like disappears into the ground. So I think I'm going to need to lift from this side as well. But honestly, that was better than I thought it was going to be. But just so many years of stuff growing. You can see stuff has grown between the portions of the fence, and that's just going to make it sloppy to get out of there. I think what I'm going to need to do is do it in sections, so I don't have to take the whole thing. So what I'll do is come out and I'll pull a portion loose like this. I don't know, I think I could just cut the pieces that are growing through. I'm just afraid to cut the fence, because if I do that, now I got like a loose floppy thing on the end. Won't be anything to provide that overall resistance for the pull, right? I don't know. Proof of concept check, good. Now I just got to work on the execution. All right, well, proof of concept worked. This was, just starting at the end and working my way down. This was actually interesting because you can see that this fence had been here for a long time, and this tree started up and then grew around it. So I ended up having to cut it free from that. I'm gonna make sure I don't stab myself with that all the way around. But pulled all this loose. Probably not super easy to see. Goes all the way out to that fence post and that fence post, and then it will continue for a few hundred feet all the way down the line. Now, as long as it's not nailed to a tree anywhere, I should be able to get it all out. But a tree is going to introduce some challenges. Like, see, even back in here, yep, fence post. So that's a good sign. Now, the fence post that I put in this morning is way, well, I can't even zoom that far. But it's through all that stuff there in the middle. You get my finger on it? Show me, right in there. Oh, that's true. It's way down through there and down near the water. So this fence has got a little ways to go. Proof of concept complete just in time. Rain's starting to come, along with thunder and lightning. So that's a magic combination we don't play with, so I'm gonna pack it in. Maybe go see if I can work on the fuel filter on the Mule for a little bit. We'll see. Anyway, that's what I got from here. I'll talk to you guys later.